Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Ouroboros Tarot. So today we are asking whether or not the person you're inquiring about misses you. I just wanted to give a little bit of a trigger warning. I am going to be as honest as I can be about what I'm seeing. If something isn't resonating with you, just take what is resonating and leave the rest. These are general readings, and there are a lot of different energies that I could be picking up on. However, I have 4 groups for you to choose from today. Pile 1, Pile 2, Pile 3, and Pile 4. Go ahead and pause this video. Take as much time as you need to find the pile that sits right with you, as well as with your person's energy, and I will see you in a minute. Hi Pile 1, if you chose this Aventurine Heart, then this is going to be your reading on whether or not the person you are inquiring about misses you. So the first 2 cards in this pile represent how your person is viewing you in terms of this connection. And we have the Gossip and Wolf. In terms of how they're viewing themselves in this connection, we have Child Nature and Bee. And in terms of how they are feeling about this separation, we have Good Things, Restlessness, Consciousness, Strength, and Rest. So in terms of how they see you, the light attributes of the Gossip are awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust. And the shadow attributes are thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. I am not feeling with this Gossip here as though they are viewing you in these shadow attributes. They're viewing you in the light attributes. And the reason why I say this is because the Wolf card is a very, very strong sign that they see you as somebody who really showed up in this connection in a very loyal and familial way. I think that they view you as somebody who really took their feelings into consideration when making decisions or when interacting with them. And I think the big feeling that I'm getting with this Gossip and Wolf is there's this feeling of warmth to you. And then in terms of how they see them showing up in this connection, we have Child Nature. And the light attributes of Child Nature are friendships with animals, communication with nature spirits, and the shadow attribute is a tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. And I think that they are viewing themselves right now in terms of their shadow attribute. And the reason why I say this is because with B here, I'm sensing that there was a lot of... I'm sensing that they viewed themselves as really wanting to work on this relationship, really trying to put effort into it. However, they were deeply self-destructive in this way. And with the bee here, the bee is a very self-protective insect, and when it feels threatened, it can sting those that it feels threatened by, but in the end it ends up killing itself. And with the tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment, I'm sensing that at the moment they feel as though they really took advantage of you in some way, shape, or form. And really, at the end of the day, it only hurt themselves. And in terms of how they are feeling about this connection being in separation right now, they are really, they're really in a state of introspection right now, is what I want to say. With rest here and consciousness, I really think that they are coming to terms with a lot of things that a lot of maybe the behaviors that they're not that proud of, they're really starting to look at themselves in the mirror. And also, I think that they're feeling a little bit beat up with strength here and restlessness. I think that they're really trying to take this time to lick their own wounds, perhaps wounds that they inflicted on themselves. Perhaps it was harsh words that were said. There's this need to recuperate right now. However, with restlessness here and good things, I'm sensing that they really don't want to stay in this restful energy of not taking action. They really feel stagnant right now or stifled, and they really want to move things forward, whether or not that's moving on from this connection or whether or not that's trying to work on things in this connection. We're going to find out more with the tarot right now. Okay. We have the Seven of Cups. Do they miss pile 1? The Nine of Wands. Does pile 1's person miss pile 1? We have the Queen of Cups. Do they miss pile 1? We have the Empress. The Ten of Cups. Do they miss pile 1? We have the Lovers. We have the Page of Cups. The World. We have the Six of Pentacles and the Fool. And on the bottom of the deck, we have Temperance. So, pile 1, does this person miss you? I would say that yes, they do miss you. There is a strong desire here for some other type of beginning, and I'm sensing not only do they miss you, but they feel sorry for something here. I think with the Nine of Wands and then the Page of Cups here, they feel as though they put you through the ringer in a sense, and they're looking at you as somebody who is very resilient, yes, but also did not deserve this kind of treatment to begin with. And for the Page of Cups to be here, I'm sensing that they feel sorry. And then with the Empress here and the Six of Pentacles, I'm also sensing that they really want to acknowledge this energy of the Empress that you were putting out. And I'm seeing it here with the Wolf as well. When I was mentioning this familial type of energy, this loyalty, it is very maternal. And I'm sensing here that this is them acknowledging that they view you as this Empress and this Queen of Cups. This is very like watery, emotional, fertile energy. And they're acknowledging that they did not return the same level of stability or consideration for your feelings as you did for them. And with Temperance being the bottom of the deck energy, I'm sensing that there's this desire to heal. There's just this feeling of regret that they have. There's this feeling of, I sense for some of you with the Fool and the Ten of Cups, this regret that they didn't just let themselves trust the situation, trust you, and just kind of take a leap of faith together. And they feel as though they've missed out on this. And with the Seven of Cups here and then the Lovers, I'm sensing that there's a little bit of like confusion here, like and I think that there was confusion in the past, definitely, but even now there's still confusion as to whether or not trying to make things right would be the right choice. Because with the Queen of Cups here in the World, I'm sensing that they really are under the impression that you are ready to move on, that you are ready to end this cycle of being in this energy of not having your partner or this person show up for you in the way in which you need. And because of this, they're really concerned about whether or not they could come back and try to form a union again. But the answer to this question is that yes, they do miss you. Let's go ahead and get some affirmations for you. What affirmations are there for pile 1? Okay, we have, I seek out happy people who inspire me to be great. Instead of taking on the fear of others, I reflect love. What affirmations are there for pile 1? Let me be still today and listen to the truth in silence. And we'll get one more for you. I trust that my intuition is always leading me in the right direction. Okay, pile 1, well, this is what I'm seeing for you. Thank you so much for giving me the chance to read for you today. If it resonated, I would love to hear about it in the comment section down below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, feel free to email me or book one in my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box. And hopefully I will have the chance to see you in another video soon. Hi pile 2, if you chose this crystal quartz heart, then this is going to be your reading on whether or not your person misses you. So these oracle cards today represent how your person is viewing you in terms of the past, as well as how they are viewing themselves in terms of the past, and also how they are feeling during this separation. So how they are seeing you is as the Advocate and Mothman, and how they are viewing themselves is as the Damsel and the Deer, and how they are feeling in terms of this separation. We have Scry Mirror, Twin, Mystery, Energy, and Reflection. So, pile 2, in terms of how they are remembering you in this connection, we have the Advocate. The light attribute of the Advocate is inspires you to put compassion into action, and the shadow attribute is embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. And what I'm sensing is that they are really still in like a wounded mindset right now, whereas so the Mothman here talks about omens and disaster and warnings, and I'm sensing that maybe they remember you as somebody who may have said some harsh things, and perhaps they weren't even that harsh, they were just simply truthful. However, I think that they are really holding on to that, and they are really holding on to that wound. Because in terms of how they remember themselves, we have the Damsel. And the Damsel's light attributes are understanding the nature of healthy romance, inspires you to rely on yourself. And the shadow attributes are waiting for a knight to provide for you, seduction by romantic illusion. And I really think that this person is starting to acknowledge that perhaps they aren't this all good, all knowing, always right character that they have portrayed themselves to be in their mind. And I'm not saying anything negative about that, because I think for the most part we all desire to see ourselves in a positive light. We don't ever want to be, typically we don't ever want to be the bad guy. And what I think is interesting is just talking to people who have experienced the same thing, because they were both a part of it, could have two totally different experiences. And I think that this person is really coming to terms with the fact that perhaps the way that they are viewing the past isn't necessarily the end-all be-all of the truth of this connection. And I'm seeing it here with Deer too. I'm sensing with Deer, this is like a very gentle, innocent type of energy, and I'm just sensing some fragility here. They're viewing themselves as fragile and as easily hurt, and they're viewing you as somebody who really triggers them. But what I really think is interesting is that we have a lot of mirrored energy here. We have the twin, we have mystery, we have reflection, and we have scrying mirror. And I'm really sensing that they are starting to realize, and if you look at this damsel right here, it's a mirror. So we have a lot of mirroring energy here. And what I'm sensing is that even though they are still in this like wounded type of mentality, or they're feeling wounded still, they're also starting to realize that perhaps you aren't this like awful, disastrous omen that's just out to get other people, but perhaps this connection is just something that truly triggers them to see parts of themselves that they don't necessarily want to see. And if you're not ready to see it, it can be perceived as an attack, even though that's not what it's meant to be. And with twin here, I'm sensing that they're seeing a lot of themselves in you, and they're also just, it's like you've held up a mirror to them, and they're starting, this separation is making them start reflect on the past in a way in which they have not looked at it prior. And I think that they're still feeling a little bit confused. They're not in the light attributes of this damsel yet, and I think that they are starting to acknowledge that. But there is something happening underneath the surface here. So that is what I'm seeing in terms of how they're feeling right now in this separation, how they're viewing the past. Let's go ahead and see, let's go ask whether or not they miss you. Does pile 2's person miss pile 2? Do they miss you? Do they miss you? We have the Lovers. Do they miss you? We have Death. We have the 9 of Cups. Do they miss pile 2? The 4 of Swords. The 8 of Swords. Do they miss pile 2? We have the Emperor. This is so interesting. The 7 of Cups came out in the last pile too, and so did the Lovers. We have the 7 of Cups, the Ace of Cups, we have Judgment, okay, and we have the Page of Pentacles, and on the bottom of the deck we have the Hanged One. Okay, pile 2. Does the person you are inquiring about miss you? The answer to your question is yes, they do miss you. They have this really strong desire with Death and the 7 of Cups to come out of this energy of not knowing what it is that they want, or feeling like they have to choose between a lot of things, or just feeling confused in general. They really want to come out of this. And I see it here too with the 4 of Swords and Judgment. I feel like they are really viewing this separation as an opportunity to reflect. And with Judgment here, I'm sensing that they really are starting to come to some realizations, and they really do see a reckoning of some kind, or a moment of some kind in which you two at least gain clarity. However, what I think is interesting is that over here on this side, we have the 4 of Swords and the 8 of Swords, and this is on the same side as the damsel. So this is on the same side as their energy. And I think that this Eight of Swords is indicating that they still are in this wounded victim type of mindset. But with the Page of Pentacles here, this is indicating that they are coming out of this. They want to come out of this. However, this isn't a fast-moving energy. This is very slow. They have a lot of realizations and growth to do still. And with the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Cups, I'm sensing that they miss you, and they're looking back on like a lot of the good times that they shared with you. They see this connection as something that was full of so much love. They're realizing the love and the emotional overpour that they have or had for you. And they're also realizing that there's still a strong desire here with this Nine of Cups. There's still this wish within them. And then what I think is interesting too is right here we have these 4 cards on the side that represents you, and we have the Lovers, the Emperor, Death, and the Seven of Cups. I'm sensing that maybe they felt as though you might have had other options, and they really are hoping that that isn't the case anymore, if this was to be a rebirth of some kind. But really the biggest thing that I'm getting from this is just a lot of confusion. And with the Lovers here and the Emperor, I'm sensing that they remember you in this loving energy, in this union type of energy, in this mirroring kind of energy again. And with the Emperor here, I'm sensing that they still feel as though you have more power over them than they do over you. And they really want to get into balance with that. And with the Hanged One here, this is more positive energy of just trying to go with the flow in terms of this separation, rather than trying to manipulate or control or force things to go a certain way. There's genuine healing that's being done here. But let's go ahead and get you some affirmations. What affirmations are there for pile 4? Why do I keep saying pile 4? Okay, this is pile 2. My productivity stems from inspiration. When I focus on what brings me joy, my tasks become effortless actions. What affirmations are there for pile 2? I am willing to see my sameness with others. This opens my awareness to oneness. It's more of that mirroring energy. I can forgive people quickly, release my resentment, and set myself free. And we'll get one more. What affirmations are there for pile 2? I celebrate all the greatness in my life. Okay, pile 2, well, this is where I am going to leave you for today. Thank you so much for giving me the chance to read for you. I really enjoy doing these videos, and I hope that this resonated with you. If it did, please let me know in the comment section down below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you would like to book a private reading with me, feel free to email me or purchase a reading in my Etsy shop in the link in the description box down below. Hopefully I will see you in another video. Bye! Hello pile 3. If you chose this Tiger's Eye heart, then this is going to be your reading on whether or not your person misses you. So how we're going to do this today is the oracle cards here are going to represent how your person remembers you in this connection, as well as how they are seeing themselves. And also there are cards in here representing how they are feeling about this separation. So in terms of how they are seeing you, we have the Engineer and the Porcupine. And how they are seeing themselves is the Alchemist and the Cricket. And in terms of how they're feeling about this separation, we have Death of the Deceitful, the Hold, Surrender, Abundance, and Intuition. Okay, pile 3. So, in terms of how they remember you, we have the engineer. And the light attributes of the engineer are the ability to give creative energy a practical expression, talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas, and the shadow attribute is reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. What I feel from these 2 cards right here is that they kind of remember you as somebody who was more on the practical, logical side of their mind or in their world, how you navigated the world and this connection. And with Porcupine here, I'm sensing that they don't necessarily remember you in a way that was vicious or cold or harsh. Porcupines are very gentle creatures, and they really only attack or use their quills when they feel as though they're being threatened. But other than that, they're very gentle creatures who go about life really not wanting to do harm to anyone else. And they remember this about you. But I'm sensing that they really don't remember a whole lot of passion or desire on your end toward them. And then they're seeing themselves as the alchemist, and the alchemist's light attributes are transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom, and the shadow attribute is misuse of the power and knowledge that come through spiritual practice. And what I'm sensing from this is that they remember themselves as being in a much more emotional head frame than you were. And with the cricket here, the cricket is all about joy and good fortune. It's known as a musician. It's very calm energy. And I'm sensing that on both sides of this, they're remembering both of you as in a fairly positive light, I will say. However, I'm sensing that this person remembers themselves as wanting more than what you wanted, or perhaps you both were just on different pages when it comes to what it is that you need in partnerships, or what your love languages are. But in terms of how they are feeling in this connection during separation, we have the hold and death of the deceitful. And the hold is showing me that they're feeling right now incredibly devastated by this separation, and they really are in a space in which they are mourning this connection. And with death of the deceitful here, I'm sensing that the purpose behind doing this mourning and allowing themselves to release and feel these feelings is so that this connection can come to a close, so that they can give themselves closure. Death of the deceitful can be it can signify that perhaps they felt as though you weren't being entirely truthful or transparent with them. However, that doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but this card does talk about burning bridges. And then we have abundance, intuition, and surrender. And abundance is giving me the same energy as the alchemist and the cricket. It's this good fortune. And I'm sensing that even though they are in this sadness right now, they are still being true to themselves. They are still wanting to navigate the world in a way in which it feels like magic. And with surrender here, I'm really sensing, surrender is a huge part of the law of attraction. It's a huge part of receiving, is to just let things be as they are. And I'm sensing that this person is really in a state of acceptance right now. And I feel like intuitively they could still be really connected to you. However, I think that right now their intuition is just extremely high because of the emotional state that they are in. But let's go ahead and also get some tarot and ask if they miss you. Does pile 3's person miss pile 3? Oh, no, okay, I thought some came out. Okay. We have the Empress. And we have the Hierophant. Do they miss them? This came out as a blockage, so I'm going to go ahead and put it reversed. Okay, we have the 5. So we have the Lovers reversed, the 5 of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, the 10 of Swords, the 4 of Cups, the 4 of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the 2 of Cups. And on the back of the deck, we have Death. Okay. Pile 3. Do they miss you? The answer to this question is, I would honestly say no. Do they care for you still? Is there still love here? 100%. But I also think that, so what I'm sensing is that they're viewing themselves as this Empress. They're viewing themselves, the Empress is giving me the same energy as the Alchemist. This is somebody who is really transformative and has like a fertileness to them, really is abundant. And I'm sensing that when it comes to this connection, they're viewing it as they are unable to, this connection is not going to give them the environment in which they need in order to continue being fertile and birthing things. There's this death that has gone on, and I see it with both of these cards. And then I think with the Hierophant here, they're viewing you as this Hierophant, which is giving me the same energy as this Engineer. It's much more, there's a lot of mental energy here, but also spiritual energy. It's just not as emotional. It's much more just in a mental state of learning and evolving spiritually. And with the 4 of Cups here, I'm sensing that either you don't necessarily, they feel as though you don't necessarily have the capability right now to give them the emotional fulfillment in which they need, or they're seeing you as somebody who is not all that interested in accepting the emotional offers that they are or have in the past offered you. And with the Lovers here and the 4 of Wands, with the Lovers being reversed, I feel like this is really acknowledging that there is this separation, that there is this separation, and with the 4 of Wands right underneath it, I'm sensing that they are really trying to stabilize themselves on their own in separation. And I think if there was an argument of some kind here, or whatever the tension was that led up to this, separation, this person has really gained a lot of clarity because of that, and I don't sense any resentment here. I'm sensing pain, and I'm sensing love still, but also a lot of clarity, a lot of insight because of this connection that they feel very grateful for. And with the Page of Pentacles here and the 2 of Cups here, I'm sensing that they are recognizing that there is love here. However, I think with this page being right underneath it, they also feel as though it's one-sided, or both of you aren't on the same page in terms of what it is that you want and need. And again, do they miss you? I mean, with the 2 of Cups here, of course there's love. Of course, I'm sure when they think back on this, it hurts them. I think that if they could have had it their way, this connection would have turned out much differently than it did. However, right now this person is really in a state of acceptance. So even if they did miss you, they're more focused right now on trying to heal and move forward, especially with this Death card as the bottom of the deck energy. Let's go ahead and get you some affirmations. What affirmations are there for pile 3? My friendships support me, nourish me, and inspire me. My genuine desire to serve clears the path for me to step into my purpose. I celebrate my progress. Awareness, not perfection, is the goal. And finally, we have creativity flows from me. I am a divine creator. Okay, pile 3. Well, this is where I'm going to leave you for today. I'm so thankful that you gave me the chance to read for you in this video today. If this reading resonated with you, I would love to hear about how it did or why in the comments section down below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and if you would like to book a private reading with me, feel free to email me at the address listed below, or book a reading on my Etsy shop, and that link is in the description box as well. Hopefully I will see you again soon. Bye! Hello pile 4, if you chose this red jasper heart, then this is going to be your reading on whether or not your person misses you. So these oracle cards here are going to represent how your person remembers you, as well as how they remember themselves in this connection, and also it's going to touch on how they are feeling during this separation. So in terms of how they remember you, we have the Mother and the Snail. And how they remember themselves is as God and the Bat. And how they're feeling right now, we have Calm Within Transformation, Slimy, Confidence, Magic, and Pain. Okay, pile 4. So in terms of how they remember you, they are showing you as the Mother. The light attributes of Mother are nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. And the shadow attributes are smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. And before I touch on that, I also want to talk about this, because I think that this is going to give us more insight. But in terms of how they remember themselves, we have God. And the light attributes of God are benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. And the shadow attributes are despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. And they remember themselves as the Bat. And the Bat showed up a couple of days ago in another reading, and I wanted to read it again because I think that this directly correlates with this Mother energy. So the key words for Bat in this guidebook are skill, practice, and progress and process. Bats are able to hunt through the use of their sonar abilities. They are agile and adept at flying and hunting bugs, but this skill doesn't happen overnight. From the time they are born, their wings grow faster than the rest of their bodies. They need time to learn to fly, build muscle, and practice. For this reason, it takes bats much longer than other small mammals to wean from their mothers. Take your time learning. Perfecting a skill takes a lot of trial and error. And so what I wanted to point out from what I just read was the mention of taking a long time to wean from mothers. And I'm sensing that they are remembering you as somebody who was very nurturing and somebody who really helped them grow. However, with Snail here, this is a very stagnant energy to be in. Snails represent very stagnant, slow energy, and snails also kind of just wander around aimlessly, like there's no intention. And I feel like they are remembering you as somebody who gave a lot, and eventually they felt as though they couldn't take anything else from you, or there was nowhere else for this connection to go, and they felt as though they outgrew you. But I think that they're looking back on themselves now in these shadow attributes of the God, where they feel as though maybe they were a bit harsh, or they had their nose stuck up in the air, and they were actually very cruel to somebody who was nothing but kind and loving and nurturing to them when they weren't in this state of feeling like a god. And in terms of how they're feeling in this separation right now, they're still feeling very conflicted. I'm sensing with slimy here and with pain, there's guilt, and there's also a little bit of shame. They don't like how they acted. They don't like looking in the mirror in this sense. But at the same time, I do think that they are also in this state of godlike energy still. And I think that they are really in a confident place, although this really could be egoic. And with calm within transformation, I'm sensing that they have a lot of goals and hopes and dreams and ambitions, aspirations in which they are really working toward right now. And they're really shedding the skin of this old connection in the hopes of achieving their goals. And I think with the snail being here and being such a goal lacking energy, I think that they're kind of remembering you as having held them back. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but these are the cards that came out. If this isn't resonating with you, feel free to find another pile, or there might not be a message in this video for you today, but this is what I'm seeing, and it's pretty clear how they remember this. So if that didn't resonate, it's probably because it's not your pile. So let's keep going. I feel like they're kind of in a state of feeling like they're better than people right now. And I think that that's a really dangerous place to be in, because life is full of ebbs and flows, and although they might be feeling really full and abundant at the moment, there's going to be a time in which that shifts. Nothing in life is permanent, and I think that they really should be reflecting on how they are treating others. Okay, so do they miss you? We have the 7 of Cups, the 10 of Cups, the 4 of Wands. Okay, this came out like that, so we'll put it reversed. The 10 of Swords reversed. Do they miss you? Okay. Temperance. The 6 of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune. The King of Wands. Okay. We have the 4 of Pentacles. And we have the 8 of Pentacles. And on the back of the deck, we have the 4 of Cups. Okay, pile 4. Do they miss you? I would say that this person looks back very fondly at your connection. I think when they look back on this, they feel the 10 of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. They feel as though this connection happened at the right place, at the right time, and it was exactly what they needed at that moment. But with the 7 of Cups and the 6 of Pentacles, I feel like it's more of this like feeling like they've outgrown, or like they're not getting enough from this connection for whatever reason, or they're not able to give you enough at this point. And they have their sights set elsewhere. And what I think is really interesting is that if you look at this Seven of Cups and you look at this calm within transformation, these 7 candles in this card represent 7 wishes, 7 hopes. And then we have 7 cups here, and each cup represents something different, and they're not quite sure in this card what to choose. And I think in this card, what it represents is these snakes just warming up by their hopes and dreams, and knowing that it's coming, knowing that they're going to shed their skin regardless. And I think that this is just confirming that this person wants to be in an expansive type of energy right now, and they feel as though this connection is not that. And with the 10 of Swords reversed and the 4 of Pentacles, I'm sensing that if this connection were to stay where it is right now, if these knives were to come out and this ending didn't happen, they would be stuck in this very reserved type of energy, this very scarce energy, this very it's just not very expansive, it's very shut off. This 4 of Pentacles is a very reserved card. And the King of Wands is all about manifesting and getting what it is that you want. And the 4 of Wands can symbolize weddings, but I'm not picking up on that here. I'm picking up more on like celebrations and enjoyment and partying and just having fun. And I'm sensing that this person really wants to expand on that right now. I do feel as though they feel with this slimy hair, and then Temperance and the 8 of Pentacles, they are recognizing that damage has been done. They are recognizing that if they were to try to make this right, a huge amount of effort on their part would have to be done, because there's a very big wound that they have created that was very unnecessary. But in terms of do they miss you, I'm getting more of a progressive energy of wanting to move forward. And with the 4 of Cups being the bottom of the deck energy, it's pretty apathetic. It's apathetic energy. It's not realizing what's being offered in front of you. It's looking elsewhere. But I want to get you guys some affirmations, because if this is resonating with you, first off, I'm incredibly sorry. Nobody deserves to be treated as if they're disposable or replaceable or can be dropped at the drop of a dime. And I think that this person has a lot of learning to do, and it's coming for them whether or not they're ready. Oh, okay, we have one that's already out. Owning my power inspires others to do the same. I am not afraid to shine. I think that this card is really acknowledging the fact that this person could potentially have really made you feel as though you are this snail, and I don't see you as this snail. And I think that this card is calling you to not view yourself in the same shitty way that this person is viewing you, because there's a lot of ugly energy going on underneath the surface for this person, and their perspective really holds no truth to it. It's safe to slow down, relax, and let go. All that I need is coming to me in ways I could never have imagined. Every cell in my body is conscious, and communicates with each positive thought I have. There's this book that this card reminds me of called You Are the Universe. And if you haven't read it, I would highly recommend checking it out, especially since this card has come out. It's fascinating, and it really can change your perspective if you're just starting out on law of attraction and understanding how to be the master of your world. But pile 4, this is what I'm seeing for you. If this resonated and you feel comfortable doing so, I would love to hear about what's been going on or whatever you have to say about it in the comment section down below. I'm so thankful that you gave me the opportunity to read for you in this video today. This is something that I really enjoy doing. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, please feel free to email me at the address I've listed, or you can also book a customized reading in my Etsy shop as well. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully I will have the chance to read for you again soon. Bye!